bad boy, world class. But I think Yamal's the best in the world, bro. It was never Rafinha. Yamal is making Rafinha look better than he is. Yamal making a lot of that Barca team look better than they are. Boy, boy, keep your thoughts coming, people. Let's see what the tabloids are saying as well, man. Because we've kind of been derailed, man. Oh well, it's always a pleasure being here with you lot. But let's see what's going on here, people. Let me share my screen. I mean, Barcelona got bare goals. We know that already. Any Arsenal fans having Romeo Lavia? This was the guy I wanted the summer we signed Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, which in hindsight was the two midfielders I was calling for. I wanted Bryce. I wanted Lavia to be the younger party. Now, he might be because he gets some injuries and whatnot. And I know many people don't want Chelsea players. I know boys in the chat. He even said if we got offered Caicedo and Cole Palmer, he'd say no, which I think is cap. I don't think Lavia is going to be sold by Chelsea. When fit, he looks like the glue of their midfield. But if we were to go shopping in Chelsea's bin again, forget the Nkunku rumours. I'm on Lavia. Chelsea are reportedly considering letting Romeo Lavia leave this summer, either on loan or permanently. If an offer of 45 million arrives, it can be accepted. Oh, 45. Chat to us, man. We got something for you. Again, new month, new blessings for everybody in the chat, people. Hope this year, this month, this week, and today is great for you lot. Please, can we get to 200 likes as well? Arsenal's month kicks off with Bournemouth at home on Saturday, in which tickets are still available. PSG away, Anfield away in Liverpool, Newcastle at home, Southampton away. I'm not going to lie. All them games scare me still. The one that scares me the least is Bournemouth. Nothing to do with how bad Bournemouth is or isn't, because they're a good side. It's just, all right, calm. PSG, it's nervous. Liverpool don't want to lose at Anfield. I know I didn't want it in this context, but I say every year, and I have been saying, and another thing that you lot make a joke of is, I always say I want to win at Anfield, bro. Newcastle at home, it'd be nice if Arteta could get one over on Eddie Howe, mate. Hope Eddie Howe's doing fine as well, man. I know he's had some health issues. Southampton, the way the season's done, it should be a write-off. We should run rampant. A team that can't stop conceding against a team that's got 100 goals in all comps, but still doesn't necessarily look like a goal-scoring team. But Ramsdale will turn into a prime Van der Sar. St. Mary's is a nervy one for all us Arsenal fans. I wanted to ask Arsenal fans in the chat as well. You know, it's the beginning of May, end of March, beginning of May, end of April. Don't know why I said that. Player of the month, people. You've got Kivior, Martinelli, Trossard, Rice. I give it Rice. No, it's a tie. I'll give it Rice. I'll give it Kivior, though. Carl, you've done your thing. You've done your thing. Shout out to you. Arsenal's three-man transfer wish list as Ollie Watkins and Marcus Rashford truth emerges. Arsenal will sign a striker in the summer transfer window with Alexander Isak, Benjamin Sesko, and Victor Gyökeres in their sights. But Aston Villa pair Ollie Watkins and Marcus Rashford complicate matters. I mean, technically Rashford's with Villa at the moment, but can't exactly say Aston Villa pair. He's at Man United. He's been loaned. Mikel Arteta faces a major striker dilemma this summer. Everyone knows that Arsenal are in the market for a big name centre forward, and getting the right one over the line is new sporting director Andrea Berta's number one priority. Is there anything new? If you're not going to say anything new, please don't waste our time. We know we like Isak. That's not happening. We know we've been linked with Gyökeres. Ornstein said that Andrea Berta is a big fan. We know the Sesko thing has been there. Gyökeres is 5 years older than Sesko, and he is 26. So that would, for me, I wouldn't get too excited about the club and what they want to do, but I'd be excited about Gyökeres signing beyond the obvious because he's 26. Obviously, I'm not saying he's old, but that's win now mode. That's not 20, 21-year-old. You're waffling for a few years. Not to say a 21-year-old couldn't do the business, but you're not waffling about what they could be tomorrow. Kind of what you see is what you get from Gyökeres. Plug and play. You, Saka. Where's the next one? Arsenal claimed they were offered Ollie Watkins in the final week of the window when Villa were facing the prospect of having to balance the books to meet PSR rules. We all know they eventually sold John Duran. They eventually got both Marco Asensio and Marcus Rashford on loan, people. You're not saying anything, man. It's difficult to imagine that if Arsenal had not taken up their two loan spots, they would not have at least inquired about Rashford. Okay, that's great. Villa might be open to selling Ollie Watkins, 29 years of age. We're not going to get too forwards in it, but definitely not a 26-year-old and a 29-year-old. But I'd love a world, where we get two strikers on top of everything else. But you've got your Gyökeres, you've got your Ollie Watkins that can contribute, or you've got your Gyökeres and you've got your development striker, your Sesko, your Hugo Ekitike. I know it's not going to happen, but guys that can be that guy tomorrow. I think it'll be great to have two strikers, to have Saka, to have a new left winger, to have maybe the Martinellis, the Trossards, the Havertz is the option of Marino in the squad across the course of a season where you've got 38 games, however many come in the champs. If you go all the way, the league and the FA Cup, the same. Need a squad. We're not learning anything. We know Aston Villa. Nobody knows what's going to happen with Ollie Watkins. We know they've got Rashford. We know John Duran left. Arsenal want a centre forward rather than a wide forward with Isaac, Sesko, and Gyökeres fitting the bill. It could be argued they need two forwards, but the problem with that is that Kai Havertz will soon be fit after hamstring surgery, and they also have Jesus on the books, and he's one of the biggest earners. And especially if you give Saka this new deal, Saliba, Magalhaes, Partey. I don't know if Partey is going to take a cut, but he's on like 200 odd grand. On paper, you've still got Zinni as well. Yes, Jorginho, Tierney are leaving. And you're also bringing in people. Berta's got a lot of balancing to do. And I keep saying this. It does not surprise me that whether you want to, quote unquote, and I'm not saying this to be to exaggerate, but whether you want to call it a rebuild, a rejig, whatever you want to call it, it is that. The vast majority of this squad has been together since the 2022-23 season. And in the summer, we'll be heading into the 2025-26 season. That's 4 years. Throughout that time, for whatever reason, some players have got better. Some players have gone from being on the peripheral things to starters. Other people, the Ramsdales, the Tierneys, there's been evolutions. It does not surprise me that there's a lot of speculation over a lot of our players. Now, we all know 20 are not going to come in. 20 are not going to be sold. 20 are not going to come in. But you go through that Arsenal squad. How many players don't have some level of speculation over their futures? How many players would you say unanimously every Arsenal fan would not sell? There's some that I wouldn't say would force certain players through the door, but certain offers get made. If you do this in the market, then you're open. Unless you want to sell Magalhaes for no reason to Saudi, you're not selling Magalhaes, you're not selling Saliba, you're not selling Rice, you're not selling Saka, you're not selling Lewis Skelly or Wanyeri. There's a couple others as well. Of the rest, you wouldn't say no necessarily. I'm not saying you would say yes to selling Kivior, but you wouldn't say no. You're open to offers on Zinchenko. The Fabio Vieiras, the Lokongas, the Tavares, the Marquinhos, the less said, the better. What else is that? You get where you're not going to be able to sell Tomiyasu, but some might. You're not going to be able to sell Gabriel Jesus. Some might. Kai Havertz ain't going anywhere. Some might. Martinelli, another guy, I don't think you're going anywhere this season, but this time a year from now, assuming, unfortunately, your form was to stay the same, you're earning big money. And you don't know, I'm not one of those fans. It's just, you've got to rejig and stuff. Kai Havertz could well move back into midfield next season. They also already have Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi in their sights in midfield and believe it is a done deal, but still need a new number 2 keeper and a left winger as priorities, with Nico Williams their dream target. But it says left. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but a left winger is listed as one of our priorities, Arsenal want a centre forward rather than a wide forward. Ain't they the same thing? I know you can be a football nerd and whatnot, but it is basically that, isn't it? Surely. So I don't know, man. I think we're being a bit too political with it. We're linked with Hugo Larsson of Eintracht Frankfurt, which isn't the first time. He's obviously a great player. Allegedly, we're interested in signing the Swedish midfielder. Can we get the Swedes in the club? Lomberg be happy. There's one at Newcastle, there's one at Sporting, and there's one at Frankfurt. Frankfurt facing the prospect of losing a lot of key players, isn't it? Marmoush gone, Egatike probably gone. Larson is drawing interest from Manchester City, Spurs, Arsenal, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of other clubs. Plays in midfield, 20 years of age, good technical level from what I've seen. It would make sense, people. I want Ryan Cherky. Unfortunately, Man United and Spurs are leading the race to sign him. I'd understand, quote unquote, why he would go Spurs. No pressure, no real expectation, playing with young players. You play there, you play in nothing games, you develop, and then you seek pastures new and join a big club. Man United makes sense, and they saw firsthand what he's on. Arsenal are joined by Liverpool in monitoring the situation of Jarell Hato ahead of the summer transfer window. While it's one to watch, there's concern from Arsenal about what it would mean for Miles Lewis-Skelly. What would you lot say to that? For me, bring it in, man. Real Madrid ready to cash in on 85 million rated Rodrygo if huge Premier League offer arrives this summer, as La Liga giants look to raise transfer funds amid interest from Man United and Arsenal. Man United, I'm sure they could have some creative accounting, and it's a big club. They can sign whoever. You saw firsthand, Rodrygo, what we're on, but I don't know if I buy this, because it always feels like when you've got Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe, all the stars, it feels like Rodrygo would be the most disposable. Apparently, you're seeing simultaneously, as he's been linked with several clubs, City as well. Apparently, he's unhappy at Real Madrid. He feels underappreciated, and they're about to allegedly get a new manager. Carlo's been linked with going to Brazil. They're not. Then going to Brazil, he's probably leaving. Xabi Alonso's coming in. I don't things. It takes a second to pick up a phone. But surely Rodrygo is not going to make the commitment to leave. He might, but making the commitment to leaving Real Madrid until you've spoken to the new manager. Now, managers are liars, and what one says and what one does is different. But what if Xabi Alonso says, "Hey, listen, you're going to be a key player, proper key player for us"? The man's a 10, man. Trust me, he's a 10. That's why he says he plays best football. You and Vinicius need to turn up for Brazil. We're winning the 2026 World Cup. Anyways, according to a report from The Sun, allegedly Real Madrid would be willing to sell Rodrygo this summer if an offer worth at least £85 million, 100 million euros arrives. The report adds there has been interest from the Premier League, with Madrid looking to raise funds for squad reinforcements in the summer. I mean, let me guess, he's going to be linked with, if he's linked with Arsenal, then he's obviously Arsenal, Man United. You could easily make a case for him to go to Liverpool. You can make a case for him to go to Chelsea. Everyone apart from Spurs. And you could be really, really creative and say Newcastle as well. Even though I think Newcastle got the muscle, but it's probably that. Surely PSG, that could be one smart little addition. Because he's humble with it as well. He seems like he's on the Dembele, Bacola, and Bacola's not these man's level, but Bacola, Doué, Kvaratskhelia kind of thing. They'll play the same. I don't listen to Arsenal fans anymore. They said the same about Kara and used his numbers to say we had better wingers. It's about the attributes you have and if it can be replicated in the Prem. I hear that. The Arsenal fans I know, we all wanted KK though. Apparently, media reports from Spain mentioned that Rodrygo himself wants to close his chapter at the Bernabeu this summer and move to another team. The Brazilian winger is unhappy with a lack of appreciation shown for him at the club, with much of the spotlight being shared by Mbappe, Vinicius, and Jude Bellingham. The only way Rodrygo's mind could change is if Carlo's successor, widely tipped to be Xabi Alonso, goes to extreme lengths to convince the player of his plans. Pardon me. What do you lot think of that? Christopher Nkunku has asked Chelsea to leave and hopes to seal a move before the Club World Cup starts. He was aggressively linked with Man United and Bayern Munich in the January window. He's been linked with Arsenal. I like the illusion of Nkunku, but not the reality, if that makes sense. Arsenal allegedly want to rival Chelsea for the signature of Jamie Gittins from Dortmund this summer. The English winger is open to joining either Premier League side. Ernesto Valverde has said he's hopeful that Athletic Bilbao can fend off interest from Barcelona and the Premier League to keep Nico Williams in Bilbao next season. It comes amid renewed talk of a move to either Barca, Arsenal, or Chelsea this summer. And there's also rumours that you might sign a lifetime contract or a new deal. There was speculation last summer, but we hope he stays in Athletic for many years. To be fair, the gaffer's not going to say much different. Chris Wheely of the Daily Mail is saying Nico Williams' reps are demanding a salary of more than 400 grand a week, people, to make a move from Athletic Bilbao this summer. I think he's intentionally doing that because he's holding out for Barca. Arsenal and Chelsea are among clubs interested, but not at those wages. Crazy. Apparently, he's super happy at Bilbao. He said to have said people. He said it's obviously a dream to lift the trophy at Bilbao's ground in which the finals being played. I mean, he's not going to say anything. There's also some rumors, people, that he's tempted by the prospect of the Premier League. Believe it when I see it. Liam Delap apparently is demanding 120 to 150 grand a week to leave Ipswich. He has a release clause, been linked with Arsenal, Man United, everybody. I don't think that's that bad. Like, surely that's probably standard wages of a 21-year-old, really. Rodrygo feels his time at Madrid is coming to an end and is considering leaving the club this summer as he's falling down the pecking order. Fair enough. City have been name dropped as well, people. So it is what it is. Barcelona allegedly have contacted Ademola Lookman's reps ahead of a potential summer switch. The Nigerian's camp is set to hold talks with Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, and Newcastle before deciding his next move. The Real Sociedad president says Martin Zubamendi's future will be resolved in June. Arsenal are willing to formally trigger his 51 million release clause. We've gone over the Lavia thing. I'm excited in it. Aston Villa want to hijack Arsenal's move for the Spanish star Joan Garcia, who's been linked with Arsenal, Manchester City, Aston Villa, Bayern Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, and everyone on their nan, man. Probably linked with SDS or someone that's in the Ballers League. Apparently, Aston Villa prepared to pay his release clause. He did say a couple of days ago that there was interest from clubs in the summer, and he name dropped us. I wonder where we're going to go with that, people. So, yeah, he's still drawing interest from over there. I want Mbuemo at Arsenal. I know it's not going to happen, but Thomas Frank has admitted that Brentford's status as a selling club could lead them to sell Mbuemo. There's some rumors that say they're on selling him for 60 million. Let's see what was said. I'm the head coach. I want my best players to stay forever. I know that Bryan is very happy being here at Brentford. He's thriving, doing well, and playing fantastic. What happens in the future, I don't know. He was linked with us last January and summer. Apparently, we admire him. Brentford not missing Ivan Toney. I don't know if they're going to let Visa and Mbuemo leave. And even them, now that's a tough task. I back them too. That's a tough task, them replacing. Do you know what? Surely it makes sense for Brentford to get Liam Delap. Surely. Maybe I'm lying. I've said many times we are a selling club, but at the same time, we have to reinforce that there are 10 clubs in the world who aren't selling clubs. So, of course, if the right price, and that's going to be expensive, is coming, then I'm sure the club will be open to it. I'm very happy he's here, and I'm convinced that Bryan will still be happy playing his football here. He's got a deal until 2027, assuming Brentford take up the 1-year option in his deal. So he's got it until 2026. Apparently, they're thought to entertain a sale of 60 million. I'm on it. Newcastle are believed to be leading the race for Mbuemo due to their ability to offer regular first-team minutes in European football, although Liverpool and Arsenal have held a long-term interest in the forward as a depth option. Fair enough. Fair enough. What's this? Arsenal path clear towards player Andrea Berta really wants as rival boss risks it all. Andrea Berta will now have developed some initial ideas about how he wants to flesh out Mikel Arteta's squad this summer. Yeah. Get to the nuts and bolts of this. One of the players on Berta's radar is believed to be Gyökeres. The Sporting striker has been in remarkable form since he moved to Portugal. Bro, 95 goals in 98 games. I don't think you're going to get that, but yeah. Ratio is improving each passing week in the wake of his 4-goal bonanza against Boavista last time out. Gyökeres has netted 17 times in 10 games. Crazy. One of the nagging concerns in Berta's mind is likely to have centered around the prospect of Amorim seeking to reignite with him at Man United. We all know Amorim came out in a press conference and said, Gyökeres deal, I didn't talk to him, but if a player only wants to come to Man United to play Champions League football, then he won't come. We want players who want to represent Man United, not players who want to play certain competitions. I hear it, but come on, it's a bit of both, innit, really. Yeah, Ian Wright, man, we don't want to talk about Arteta at this moment in time. Arsenal are currently showing the most interest in Gyökeres, edging ahead of Liverpool and Man City. That's according to Ebola. I don't know if they're the most credible place, but yeah. Leeds United are among a host of clubs who are keen on Celtic's Desan Maenda after his outstanding season in Scotland. Arsenal have been name dropped as well. Yeah, Leeds, you can have him, man. Good player. Kudus wants to quit West Ham and join Liverpool. I wonder if Arsenal will spin the block if that's the case. So yeah, let's move on from that. Is there anything else Arsenal related, folks? Apply for 2025-26 ball squad trials. How old you gotta be? Let's go. No, I'm chatting, man. Forget that. What's this? Arsenal now willing to sell Saliba? Yeah, mate. Could strip the captain of his captaincy, if I'm honest. Who's this? Massive fan of Man United player. This is all cap, man. But we're gonna see if it's cap. Because that's what we do here, people. What's this? Arteta is ready to allow Saliba to leave the Emirates in a potential swap deal. Who? With Rodrygo? Tchouameni. We're willing to do a swap deal to get Tchouameni if we give them Saliba. Arsenal are now also willing to sell Saliba, with Real Madrid increasingly open to sign a defender, blah, blah, blah. Tchouameni doesn't want to leave Madrid yet. You know what? 10 out of 10 for the imagination on this article. What's this? Arteta is a long-term admirer of Rashford. Okay, you know what? I walked into that one. Arsenal now open talks to sign phenomenal player Mikel Arteta has wanted since 2020. Allegedly, we've opened talks to sign Ivan Ndika. You know what? Defensive depth. According to Sky Sports, he's valued at 40 million, 34 million pounds by the Italian Giants. Newcastle also interested. Allegedly, we've started talks to sign the Ivory Coast international from Roma. Didn't he join them on the free? Spurs apparently also hold interest in him, and apparently he could end up replacing Kivio. Really? Does anyone really believe that? Let me get back into what you lot say. 40 more likes and we've got 200 though, man. Big up you lot. Man United will win the league next season. Gyökeres is going United. He's clearly waiting for Barca to get the funds together. Clearly, man. Clearly doing too much. But that's where Arsenal and everyone else who's interested need to move on. Cunha and Mbuemo, Gyökeres, what a lineup. If United have that, that's cold still. Partey is very important. Games are actually won through the middle. Very important. Our wingers are playing different to the last 2 seasons. Martinelli's game has dropped off since Xhaka left. I hear you, but I just think with Martinelli, I don't know what you need to do, but your finishing and decision making needs to improve off your back. It's like when people are starting to do that stuff with Odegaard now. Like if he had a striker, he's not had Saka, White spinning out, this and that. I hear that. These are all things, but at the end of the day, bro, you're at that point where you need to fix up. You need to pattern. Big up yourself, man. Nico Williams wants Ballon d'Or wages. Lookman Mateta Saka. I mean, it's not the worst, but Cunha is better than Saka. Take your word for it, my guy. Trust me, DG. Martinelli as a left wing back is a nice option and tactic to have. I would have ran it yesterday, well, 2 days ago. Where has Nico wage demands comes from? If not from the player himself, then it's all noise. Clearly noise. Oh, Neil, you're not. I can't lie, Neil. I got a bone to pick with you, you know, because big up you. But you're never happy. Every time I see you comment on my YouTube thing, you're always getting vexed. Like, pull me and Miles, yeah. Pull me and Miles. We're just having a chat about Arsenal. I know you didn't watch the video as well. You just wanted to say cool stuff. All we did is, I think we were quite balanced, but then you've come and said, silly fans always looking for excuses to why we lost. That's how you didn't watch it. But silly fans always looking for excuses to why we lost. It's simply they were the better team on the day, but it's only 1-0, so we have a chance. Blame the manager or the fans wasn't loud enough, and that affected the players. Is pure nonsense. I suppose it was Arteta's fault we didn't take our chances as well. Hey, one love regardless, though, man. That's how I know hate is just love and love's hate. You love the guy really, man. Say less, DJ. I'll get at the fams, old man. Them Ari Yamal. They told me he's too young, but he's bossing games. But now you're just Cunha Henry, yeah. Take your word for it, man. As Paul Pogba said, Man United fans know very little about football. I know you're trolling, but come on now. I don't care if the bench is all kids. The manager chose those kids. They must be ready to play a 20-minute cameo or are better off taking no one on the bench. Hear it. Cunha would cook Salah and Saka any day. I hear you, bro.